Welcome everyone, I'm Spiro for Newsbud.com. Newsbud is a 100% independent news organization funded by you, the people, through your donations and subscriptions. With your support, we've been able to build a top-notch team of experts founded by former FBI whistleblower and best-selling author Sibel Edmonds. Newsbud offers our subscribing members exclusive content every week for a very low price. I'm going to recap everything Newsbud has covered just in the last week alone, so you can see exactly what you're missing out on if you're not already a Newsbud community member. This was a big week for Newsbud, exposing the deep state, the drug-fueled banker wars. Our Russia and Balkans expert covered the new nuclear arms race. Our Asia expert covered the latest moves by the U.S. to derail China. Our financial expert exposed the real state of the economy. Plus, we had some big breaking news, but first, let's start with a Newsbud exclusive article written by Basplier. The article is titled, GMOs Kill, Not Save, The Hungry of the World. The article, which is available now for everyone, including non-members, asks a very important and fundamental question. Why would we even want genetically modified instead of organic food on our plates? The article continues, the main answer, proponents claim, is that GMOs are necessary to enhance the amount of global food production, as they are one of the, if not the only, viable solution at increasing yields and thus fighting global hunger. Well, doesn't that sound nice? Now, the article goes on to expose the, quote, Green Revolution, supported by the Rockefeller and Ford Foundations, which was in reality a devious plan to control the world's food production by a handful of powerful companies. This is really a fantastic article that goes on to debunk the theory that GMOs are for the good of mankind and the world to save humanity. Quite the contrary, this article documents the serious health and environmental risks that GMOs and the accompanied pesticides pose to our families and ecosystem. And it's available now exclusively at Newsbud.com. Now this week, Newsbud had a huge breaking news report by Newsbud's founder, editor, and FBI whistleblower Sibel Edmonds, as she exposes the man in charge of the investigation of the Russian collusion special counsel, former FBI Director Robert Mueller. Make sure you see this full video, which is available now for everyone. This video needs to go viral, so please do your part, share it far and wide. This is bombshell breaking information. The video is paired up with an exclusive article / press release that has much more information exposing Mueller's conflicts of interests as special counsel, which includes protecting a wanted terrorist who is operating a multi-billion-dollar terrorist organization right here in the United States. Find out why Mueller must step down as special counsel and why maybe it should be Mueller who is under investigation.
Mueller, due to his direct involvement as former FBI director and his role in covering up and protecting Gulen Network's criminal operations within the United States by shutting down pertinent FBI investigative operations and by transferring certain terrorism-related Gulen files to the Counterintelligence Division, has a major conflict of interest as a special counsel.
Now make sure you guys support Newsbud as we rely on your backing through your subscriptions and donations in order to keep Newsbud up and running. It is more important now more than ever you support Newsbud by subscribing. Once you do, you get access to tons of exclusive content, so it's a win-win situation, and you support independent media. Now this week, Newsbud published my most recent report that may be the most important video I have done to date. Immediately following the Las Vegas shooting, the Council on Foreign Relations is looking to capitalize, not letting a good crisis go to waste. The CFR is conspiring to influence the government domestically, calling for the ultimate crackdown here in the United States. Find out how American citizens could land in the crosshairs as the full destruction and the wrath of the war on terror is set to come home, as the CFR is calling for new federal government powers to bypass local law enforcement and the rule of law to take everything you have. This is no joke. Plus, find out why the CFR is calling on the government to authorize drone strikes here on U.S. soil. The full video is available now for Newsbud community members, or you can watch it now at Newsbud Vimeo on demand. Now this week, Newsbud's Geopolitical Report with Kurt Nimmo. Nimmo documents how the banks, the drug cartels, the terrorists, and the intelligence agencies have been working together for decades, making billions of dollars in the illegal drug trade and money laundering. Nimmo goes on record naming names as he lays out the whole operation and how the illegal drug money was pouring in and how the failing banks were eager to get their hands on that money so they could stay afloat. How the intelligence agencies facilitated all this and more, and when the banks finally got busted after decades of illegal operations, no bankers went to jail. They just got a slap on the wrist, pay a fine, and then it's business as usual, as the governments who were involved in the deal, including the United States government, let them off the hook. Now, the full episode is available right now for Newsbud community members. If you're not yet a member, you can preview, watch, and share all of Newsbud's latest videos on Vimeo on demand. And now it's time to take on one of the world's most dangerous and deadly gangs, the CIA. Now, this week, Kurt Nimmo wrote an exclusive article for Newsbud documenting how the CIA director, Mike Pompeo, has said the CIA will, quote, become a much more vicious agency. That might be the most unsettling and terrifying thing I've heard in a while. Now, the CIA boss said this at a recent gathering for neocons at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Nimmo goes on to document how the FDD is another shadowy branch of the deep state whose membership consists of establishment insiders bent on regime change of several other nations. Some would say at the behest of Israel. Now, you do not want to miss this must-read article. It's available now for Newsbud community members exclusively at newsbud.com. In this week's edition of Newsbud's Russian Newspaper Monitor, Professor Philip Kovacevic covers Russia's concerns about a U.S. nuclear prototype missile that Russia's Ministry of Defense has warned the U.S. has already begun assembling. The new missile could deliver a lightning-speed attack that poses a serious threat to the Russian nuclear forces. The Ministry of Defense spokesperson stated the new U.S. nuclear strategy most likely included the combination of new hypersonic and space-based weapon systems, but the Russians are also developing their own new ICBMs as well, which is said to be unstoppable by anything that the U.S. has. So find out about the new nuclear arms race between Russia and the United States as the Cold War 2.0 is currently underway. All this and more from Newsbud's geopolitical expert on Russia and the Balkans at newsbud.com for subscribing members, or watch it now on Vimeo on demand. Now it's time for some quick important updates. Newsbud has just improved our video streaming service on our website. Some people with slow internet or low bandwidth were experiencing some issues trying to watch some of the videos. Now, if you scroll over the HD button, it will display several different viewing options to make it easier for you to watch our videos on our website. Newsbud also offers the MP3 version so you can listen like I do while you're on the road or working around the house. And don't forget to check out Newsbud's DVDs. We are only able to operate with your support. Newsbud's China Watch is a great weekly show hosted by Newsbud's Asia expert, Peter Lee. This week, Peter Lee covers a major development that virtually no one is talking about. Big moves being made by the United States to derail China as China attempts to dethrone the United States in this current unipolar system. Also, find out why the Western press is comparing the Chinese president to Hitler, Stalin, Lenin, Mao, and Putin. This episode and all of Newsbud's latest can be seen right now for subscribing members. If you're not a member, feel free to watch it on Vimeo on demand, and you can share it far and wide. Now this week, Newsbud's financial expert Pi Ian shattered the glass house built on illusion that the economy is doing better than ever. With the stock market smashing records every other week virtually at this point, recently breaking 23,000 for the first time ever. Newsbud's Money and Fear with Pi Ian also exposes the ongoing revolving door between the government, Wall Street, and the banks. Plus, find out how the government and DARPA is supposedly working to prevent hackers from crashing the stock market. Newsbud's financial expert asks a very important question. Is the deep state preparing a false flag, setting up another nation for bringing down the stock market and the U.S. economy through a cyber hack, a false flag digital cyber attack? Well, the U.S. economy is already teetering on the brink of implosion, and someone has to take the blame, right? Well, the full episode is available now for Newsbud community members. If you're not a member, Vimeo on demand is your ticket. Now, Newsbud also offers our own aggregated news, and we call it Sibel's Picks. It's the best source for aggregated news online. Our community members love it. Newsbud's founder, Sibel Edmonds, handpicks each story herself, and you get all of this, plus the videos, the articles, the roundtables, the interviews, the exclusive breaking reports, and more, exclusively available for Newsbud activist community members. So be sure to sign up today. And once you sign up, your price is locked in and will never increase. And we want to deliver the best to our activist community members, but we rely on your support to keep this operation going. For all of us here at Newsbud, thank you for your support, and stay tuned for next week's lineup.